honored guests of the platform party, degree candidates, faculty and staff, parents, families, friends, and guests, I hereby call to order the 2017 commencement of the University of Maine at Farmington. To all those gathered here or watching from venues around campus or online, I extend a warm welcome. Would you please rise if you are able for the singing of our national anthem, performed today by UMF senior Andriana Amarell. Do you want to sing? Do you want to sing or out? Huh? Do you want to stand on it?
I'll just stand. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Great job. Thank you. Please be seated. Good morning. I am Kate Foster, President of the University of Maine at Farmington, and your host for today's ceremony. Let me begin by introducing the platform party and others participating today. I will do so by group, asking persons to stand when I call their name and remain standing until we acknowledge the entire group. In the back row, from my right, Larissa Hannon, Senior Class President, Jamie Austin, Senior Class Vice President, Chris McKee, President of the UMF Alumni Council, Zack Peercy, Senior Class Speaker, Haley Lara Jaramillo, Senior Class Secretary, and Cody Smith, Senior Class Treasurer. Please thank these graduating seniors and alumnus for their service and participation. You may be seated. In the front row, starting from my right, Dr. Daniel Gunn, University Marshal, Mr. Christopher Coyne, honorary degree recipient, Mr. Louis Sell, honorary degree recipient and our commencement speaker, Mr. Mark Gardner, member of the University of Maine System Board of Trustees, Dr. Eric Brown, interim provost and vice president for academic affairs, Ms. F. Celeste Branham, vice president for student and community services, and at the table to my left, Dr. Jonathan Cohen, associate provost and professor of philosophy, and Dr. Catherine Yardley, associate provost and dean of the College of Education, Health, and Rehabilitation. Please thank these senior leaders and honorees for their service and participation. We recognize also Mr. Robert Underwood, Daniel Mason, Richard McAllister, Noah Miller, and Aidan Underwood, who bagpiped and drummed us into the ceremony today, Andrea Kierstead, who provided pre-ceremony organ music and will accompany our recessional, and Shannon Locke and Byron Oakes, who are interpreting the ceremony in American Sign Language. Please join me in thanking these contributors to Commencement. Our reserved seating section is full of important friends of the university, including members of the UMF Board of Visitors, the UMF Alumni Council, elected officials from the town of Farmington and state of Maine, and special guests. Thank you for being exceptional partners to this university and for your attendance today. Also here today are UMF alumni from the 50th reunion class of 1967. Members of this milestone class, would you please rise if you are able? 50 years ago, you may remain standing. 50 years ago, you graduated from this university when it was Farmington State Teachers College. Today, you return to your alma mater to relive memories, enjoy fellowship, and participate in this ceremony, ushering the current graduating class into the ranks of alumni. Each of you is special to us, but I must call out with pleasure that one of you, Judith Potter Smith, is standing tall with a graduating class that includes your grandson, Lucas Small. You should wave to each other. I also note with delight that the milestone class of 67 includes Eloise Wallace, beloved by all members of the community, students especially, as the unfailingly friendly staff member who fills her retirement days, checking you into the dining hall for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Thank you. Thank you, class of 67, for keeping UMF in your heart, and by your presence, for modeling where our current graduates truly ought to be 50 years from now. Thank you. I now ask members of the UMF faculty to please rise. Graduation does not, cannot happen without these indispensable members of our community. As talented, creative, and award-winning teachers, advisors, mentors, and scholars, you have given immensely to prepare our graduates for this day, to generate their fond memories of UMF, and to ready graduates for their next chapter. Please, and students especially, join me in extending our deepest thanks and appreciation to the UMF faculty. Thank you. I now ask members of our talented and dedicated UMF staff, and I should say many of whom have been and are at this moment working the event, to please rise. You have nurtured our graduates from a distant past when UMF was one of many post-secondary options through countless interactions of admissions, financial aid, health and wellness, residential life, student life, counseling, academic support, athletics, recreation, campus safety, buildings and grounds, and especially in recent months, career planning and alumni relations. Your care is further reflected today with this transformed parking lot, plants, ribbons, and chairs neatly placed, videotaping underway, programs published, diplomas readied, and refreshments soon to come. Graduates, please join me in extending our fondest thanks and gratitude to the dedicated UMF staff. Finally, let me single out Ms. Sandra Lord, Administrative Assistant to the Provost, for a much-deserved round of applause. As Field Marshal for today, Sandy has orchestrated and is now overseeing this momentous occasion, and I should say she even arranged for the beautiful weather. Before I present the graduating class profile, it is my pleasure to invite Mr. Mark R. Gardner to bring us greetings from the University of Maine System Board of Trustees. Trustee Gardner, who is the Chief Executive Officer of SAPI North America, began his service as trustee in 2012. Mr. Gardner?
President Foster, distinguished faculty and staff, students, friends, and families of University of Maine Farmington class of 2017. Greetings from the University of Maine System Board of Trustees, a governing body appointed by the Governor of Maine to serve as administrator of the University of Maine system, a vital asset of the state of Maine, serving 30,000 students. I am honored to be here today at University of Maine Farmington, Maine's first public institution of public higher education and deservedly proud university of high quality. In my day job, I lead the North American division of a diversified global pulp and paper business. If over the course of your college career you printed out a glossy paper or a class paper or read a magazine or thumbed through a catalog, or for that matter, even walked on laminated floors or sat in an upholstered couch or chair, or read food labels that are affixed to a can, then you have been in contact with our products. We may also have connected through a common commitment to sustainability, energy, and water practices, a hallmark of both my firm and also the University of Maine Farmington. For my service as a trustee, I know that the University of Maine Farmington has held a wonderful year, deepening its identity as a premier public liberal arts college, investing in scholarships, experiential education, student life, campus facilities, and new academic ventures. Students, faculty, and staff have won recognition and awards for scholarships, teaching, leadership, and community engagement. You also completed a 20-year campus master plan and are already implementing many of its recommendations. The actions include improved indoor and outdoor spaces and an infusion of art on campus. Now, with a full year of experience with your magnificent biomass heating plant, you have drastically reduced the University of Maine Farmington's reliance on fossil fuel and demonstrated your environmental values. The Board of Trustees salutes and thanks University of Maine Farmington for all these and other noteworthy accomplishments. Class of 2017, you will always be connected to this great university. May you go forth and as decreed by the University of Maine Farmington's mission statement, prepare for engaged citizenship, enrich professional careers, and an enduring love of learning. On behalf of the University of Maine System Board of Trustees, I offer sincere congratulations and best wishes for every success. Thank you.
Thank you, Margaret. Thank you, Trustee Gardner. It is now my honor to present the graduating class profile, a commencement tradition. As the 20 students graduating with a degree in mathematics today already know, 2017 isn't just any number, it's a prime number. And this is a prime, dare I say primo, cohort of accomplished graduates and undergraduates. The class of 2017 numbers 398 graduates, 360 of whom said you would be marching today. Graduate students, there is a record 26 of you in this graduating cohort. 15 of you will receive a Master's of Science in Education degree in early childhood education. 11 of you will receive the Master's of Science in Education in leadership. Although several of you hail from beyond Maine, all of you are currently teaching and serving in Maine schools, from Bridgeton to Jefferson and Orono to York. For those in early childhood education, your capstone projects are a greatest hits of the discipline, ranging across home literacy, letter identification, number sense, technology use, parental attitudes, physical activity, and social emotional development of young learners. Your graduate degree prepares you to assume leadership roles in early childhood education and to better advocate for children with parents, administrators, and policymakers. For those in educational leadership, your capstone projects touch on learning and learners at every level, covering topics from parent-teacher communication, proficiency-based classrooms, and math fluency for students with disabilities, to school health education, instructional coaching, and the social and emotional needs of middle schoolers. With your degrees, you are prepared for positions as lead teachers, department heads, principals, superintendents, or any other leadership post. For all our graduate degree recipients, your classrooms, schools, and communities are better for your achievement. Undergraduates, there are 372 of you receiving bachelor's degrees today, 340 or so who said you would participate in the ceremony. 21 of you are fall 2016 graduates marching today. 3/4 of you arrived in Farmington as first-year students. 20% came as transfers from another college, and 5% will graduate today after being readmitted to UMF after some time away. Just over half of you will earn a Bachelor of Science degree, 43% a Bachelor of Arts degree, and the remaining 6% either a Bachelor of Fine Arts or a Bachelor of General Studies degree. 32 of you will graduate with 2 or more majors, 1 with 2 different degrees. 80 of you, over a fifth of the class, will graduate with a minor, and 21 of you with 2 or more minors. 17 of you will graduate with one of our certificates, either Alpine Operations, Addiction Rehabilitation, or English Language Learning. 4 of you will graduate as a University Honors Scholar, the highest level of recognition in the honors program. Another 17 of you will graduate with an honors certificate. Reflecting UMF's history, 129 of our bachelor's candidates, roughly 35% of the graduating class, are majoring in an education major, either early childhood ed, elementary ed, secondary ed, special ed, or early childhood special education. Your single most common undergraduate major, with 52 graduates, wait for it, is elementary education. The next 3 most numerous majors, with 39, 34, and 33 graduates respectively, are psychology, secondary education, and community health. 24 of you earned one of our interdisciplinary majors, and 5 of you created your own major, a set that ranges from earth science and environmental philosophy to the psychology and sociology of criminal justice in the US and Honduras. 161 of you, 43% of the class, are graduating with Latin honors, that is, with overall GPAs of 3.5 or better on a 4.0 scale. A remarkable 2 of you, and you know who you are, a remarkable 2 of you will graduate with GPAs of 4.0, which is to say straight A's over the course of your college career, assuming, of course, that you aced your final projects and papers. You have gotten around. 84 of you, representing a 50% increase over last year, participated in at least one study-away experience, and 14 of you had more than one such experience. Of these, 24, including 5 completing your student teaching abroad and 3 completing internships abroad, studied away for either a summer, semester, or year in Austria, China, Cuba, France, Germany, India, Ireland, Japan, New Zealand, Scotland, South Korea, or Spain. Travel courses took, or in 2 days will take, another 43 of you, to Costa Rica, Cyprus, Italy, Newfoundland, Peru, Tanzania, or the U.S. Virgin Islands. In addition, through the National Student Exchange, 5 of you studied for a semester or year at universities in Alaska, Colorado, Texas, or Quebec. 61 of you, or 16% of the class, competed in at least one season of varsity athletics. 39 of you, or 10% of the class, competed as a Beaver for all 4 years, and some additional number of you played competitive club sports in ice hockey, rugby, tennis, or indoor track. You come from 12 states and 3 nations beyond the United States. 81% of you come from a Maine hometown, geographically ranging from New Sweden in the north to Kittery in the south, Calais in the east to Bethel in the west. 53 of you, or 14% of the class, come from a New England state beyond Maine, led by 22 from Massachusetts, with 16 from New Hampshire, 10 from Connecticut, 3 from Vermont, and 2 from Rhode Island. 13 of you are from states farther afield, led by 4 of you from New York and 3 from Pennsylvania. There are 2 of you from Texas, 2 from my home state of New Jersey, and 1 each from Maryland and Hawaii. 1 each is also the case for the home nations of our 3 international graduates in the class of 2017, Rwanda, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Côte d'Ivoire. As for your destinations, members of the class of 2017, you are heading to graduate school at prestigious universities, including Northwestern, Smith, University of Oregon, University of Northern Colorado, University of Prince Edward Island, Illinois State, University of Massachusetts Amherst, University of Utah, Fairfield University, University of New Hampshire, University of Alaska Fairbanks, the School of International Training in Brattleboro, Vermont, the Chicago Professional School of Psychology, the University of Maine, the University of Southern Maine, and for a few of you accepted but still deciding, maybe Vanderbilt, maybe Syracuse, maybe American University, maybe George Washington University, and maybe the University of Maryland. In graduate school, you will study fields as varied as geology, social work, public policy and management, writing for the screen and stage, rehabilitation counseling, peace and conflict studies, veterinary science, school counseling, urban education, exercise and sports studies, social work, clinical and mental health counseling, writing and rhetoric, public health, American Sign Language, counseling psychology, marketing, maternal and child health, program management, early intervention, and tourism administration. Others of you are starting employment with offers already in hand for positions including actuarial analyst, aging and disability resource counselor, behavioral health officer, college-level assistant men's soccer coach, foster care case manager, trial assistant to a district attorney, early interventionist, accountant, assistant billing manager, substance abuse counselor, Maine Hudson Trails assistant, and event planner for destination weddings. Many of you will begin careers as a teacher in early education, special education, elementary ed, or secondary ed, blanketing Maine and New England and extending to South Korea, with at least one of you teaching in Alaska, Texas, and California. A few of you are waiting to hear back from prospective employers at radio stations, foundations, and schools. 2 of you are headed to France to be lecteurs, one teaching at the Université d'Angers and the other at the Université de Maine-Le Mans. 1 of you will be bringing accessibility program to Plymouth Plantation. Another will be an overland trip leader at Yellowstone National Park. 4 of you are headed to Disney World to entertain children and families. 2 of you will be nannies, one in Maine and the other overseas. One of you is joining the Marines, which has awarded you a sizable scholarship for your graduate education. One of you will be living life as a Fulbright scholar in Mongolia, and another, who finished in 2016, will be a Fulbright scholar in Thailand. One of you will be serving on Senator Collins's Alzheimer's congressional team. At least two of you will be planning your own weddings, having recently become engaged. Several of you, and I should say not the same people, will be parenting, one for a newborn. Others of you are taking a gap year to travel and experience nature and culture, from Maine to points west, and abroad to Italy, the Caribbean, and South America. Many of you will be writing or volunteering or woodworking, and many of you will be taking stock in the wake of your college career. Regardless of your destinations, your major, or your GPA, we hope that UMF has been an encouraging, intellectually challenging, and treasured home. We hope you already think of UMF with affection and nostalgia, and that these feelings will strengthen in the years ahead. We hope your faculty and staff have been fine guides, your peers have been inspirational, and your coursework and extracurricular activities have brought you opportunity, confidence, and joy. We hope you feel that you have grown and that UMF has been there for you. In return, you have given us a great deal. You have brought us your energy, curiosity, and activism. You have made our campus more accessible, diverse, inclusive, conscious, and sustainable. You have read us your poetry and prose, led our varsity and club teams to victory, and enhanced our lives with your acting, singing, dancing, art, comedy, and music. You have contributed meaningfully in your internships, and you have benefited our region by raising funds, organizing events, preparing tax returns, coaching teams, and counseling youth. You have made our campus and community a better place. Now, graduates, you shall go forth and do the same in even larger measure wherever you land. On behalf of a proud and grateful university, thank you and congratulations, class of 2017.
Greetings to all. It is my privilege on this happy occasion to introduce the student whom the senior class has selected to address the assembled, your senior speaker, Mr. Zack Peercy. Zack hails from a state that has produced many celebrated writers, actors, singers, artists, and comedians. He is a Pennsylvanian who proudly reported to me that he was prom king at Abington Heights High School, PA. Zack was determined to move on from that moment of glory to another at some distance from his home, definitely in New England, and especially where he could find the best creative writing program. UMF it was to be. Zack readily admits that he has grown intellectually here, and without his close faculty mentors prodding and pushing him along, Janie Decker and Teal Minton in particular, he asserts that he would not have accomplished all that he has. Zack has been a stalwart member of the theater community here as an actor, playwright, and writer. He has served as the assistant editor of the Sandy River Review, produced one-act plays for the festival of that name, and published 12 times. When asked how he would describe himself, Zack offered 3 adjectives that actually I'm unable to repeat on this splendid and formal occasion. But we both agreed that I might say he is an inquisitive chap whose humor tends to be darkish, but at the ready. He was an enthusiastic member of our improvisational comedy troupe, the Lawn Chair Pirates, where he offered a keen sense of comedic timing and flair. An admirer of Zack's said that he uses humor most adeptly, however, to diffuse highly charged situations, another service he has provided to the campus. Upon graduation, this theater major and Dean's List graduate is off to Chicago in search of, and I quote, personal happiness and perhaps moderate success. If the truth be told, his dream is someday to write for Saturday Night Live. But in the meantime, he will return once again to Second City, the world's premier comedy club and comedy theater and school of improvisation, to hone his own comedy skills. So another moderately successful fellow Pennsylvanian took the same path after her graduation. Tina Fey went to Chicago too. She was a receptionist at the YMCA, and she took classes at Second City at night. I threw that in to reassure Zack's parents, who may be a tad anxious about his plan. May Zack enjoy a similar trajectory to Tina's in the world of comedy. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce to you now your speaker, Mr. Zachary James Peercy.
Prom king. Yeah. Can only go up from here. Yeah. So, hello, welcome. I was told by Celeste numerous times not to go off script, because this is a very important event. So I'd like to start by going off script to once again reiterate one of her points, which is to personally thank Nathaniel Teal Minton and Janie Decker. Honestly, without them, I would not be standing up here. I would be, I don't know, failing. So thank you to them. And also, my uncle, it's his birthday today. And he drove from New Jersey to pick up my family in Pennsylvania, and then drove all the way up to Maine 2 days ago. So happy birthday, and thanks for coming to this. Yeah. Cake will be served after. And now on with the speech. Good morning, fellow graduates, faculty, family, and friends. Good. For the last 3 years, I've come to this ceremony to bid farewell to friends and mentors as they began their journeys into unemployment. I know a lot of writers. And 3 times over, I heard speeches from class representatives that reflected on their time here. Each has brought up classic examples of what makes Farmington memorable for them, such as wing night at the Roost, rugby games on a Saturday, and staying up all night to study for an exam. Unfortunately, these aren't prominent memories for me when I think about my time at UMF. Above every college trope, the resonating point of interest is that Farmington is weird. Yeah. A prime example of eccentricity on campus can be found in front of the Ed Center, which is right over there. The 24-foot statue designed by Christopher Fennell has been described as a blade of grass from an ant's perspective, a sprig of wheat painted green, and a stalk of asparagus. But one thing that the entire campus can agree on is that it is made from the blades of recycled lawnmowers. It's true, look it up. The closer you look at our hub of academia, the more you start to notice various inconsistencies, such as a town church, steeple and all, renovated into our psychology building, or pianos all over campus that are both consistently being played and consistently out of tune, ghosts that are more prominent on a campus tour than most things related to art, music, or theater. A campus primarily under a blanket of ice and snow with an outdoor volleyball court and amphitheater. A president, this will be nice, I swear. A president who sends emails every year that are absurdly eloquent just to address the foliage. See, I told you it'd be nice. A faculty so quirky that you can join a jam band with one and wonder if another even exists in our dimension outside of class time. Some of them are here today, I'm surprised. A curriculum that requires 2 lab sciences in different areas of study, but only 1 art class. A little closer to home, not a lot of laughs on that one. And every morning, we wake up to an email about an internship fair that I'm pretty sure has been continuously happening for the last 4 years. Okay, that was a good laugh. I should just stop now. We all have stories about this strange little town in the western mountains of Maine that basically shuts down after 9 p.m. About the pickup truck with the full-size Confederate flag that would blow in the breeze down Main Street on a warm spring day. Cherished. And Chester Greenwood, the Farmington native who invented the earmuff and the parade we have for him every year. Also true, look it up. About the professors who became mentors, about the mentors who became friends, about the friends who became family, and about the dining hall meal that gave us food poisoning. Our time here has been absurd, and we have embraced it. And we will carry this absurdity with us always. For without it, our college experience would just be run-of-the-mill. So when we leave this place, we may become a blade of grass from an ant's perspective, or a sprig of wheat painted green, or maybe just a stalk of asparagus. But thanks to our time here, we all know that we're made of recycled lawnmower blades. So, it's customary, all my stuff's flying around. It's customary to include a quote in a speech like this. So I'll leave you, as UMF has always left us, on a weird note. Dr. Seuss once said, "One fish, 2 fish. Red fish. Blue fish." Thank you.
In a second. You can stand if we bring Chris up here so we can see. Yep, that's perfect. Christopher R. Coyne, we are privileged to commend you today as recipient of the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters. Technology innovator, designer, entrepreneur, and son of Maine, with your computer savvy and enterprising creativity, you realized the potential of the internet to aggregate, educate, and connect. In 1999, while studying mathematics at Harvard University, you teamed up with classmates to found thespark.com and Spark Notes, free online study guides that proved popular from the outset. The students like it. In just 2 years, you grew the offerings from a humble selection of 6 literature classics, Macbeth, Julius Caesar, The Scarlet Letter, A Doll's House, The Iliad, and A Tale of Two Cities, to a full library of guides to math, biology, chemistry, psychology, history, philosophy, economics, and other fields. In doing so, you attracted the attention of Barnes & Noble, which purchased and still operates the platform. Operating under the self-imposed constraint that your products had to make people happy, you and your partners paired the power of mathematical algorithms with the connectivity potential of the internet to develop OkCupid, the online dating, friendship, and social networking website. Long rated a top web dating site, You attracted favorable interest from Match.com, which acquired your site in 2011. An exemplar of teamwork and entrepreneurship, and winner of the Harvard Humanist of the Year Award, you now demonstrate your commitment to online users through Keybase, an open source encryption application you had developed with partners. By providing tools for online users to manage their identity, create secure chats, and share files privately, you address societal concerns about online privacy, security, and identity. Through it all, you instruct and inspire generations with your practical inventiveness and social ideals. You have had an impressive career, and it isn't half over yet. Christopher R. Coyne, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the University of Maine system, I have the honor to bestow upon you the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa. Congratulations. Louis D. Sell, we are privileged to commend you today as a recipient of the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters. Diplomat, author, policy historian, teacher, and longtime Maine resident, you have been present at some of the most crucial moments in late 20th century world history. With your voice of calm and political acumen in times of turmoil, you have made lasting contributions to international diplomacy and world peace. From 1971 to 1998, you served as a Foreign Service officer under 6 U.S. presidents, from Richard Nixon to Bill Clinton, a diplomatic journey that took you to volatile parts of the world. A specialist in Soviet and Eastern European affairs, you served as director of the Office of Russian and Eurasian Analysis, director of the Office of U.S.-Soviet Bilateral Relations, and as executive secretary of the U.S. delegation to the Strategic Arms Reduction talks. Present in Moscow at the time of the fall of the Soviet Union, you had a front row seat to a tectonic shift in world order. You served in Yugoslavia during the political crisis dividing that country. In 1995 and 1996, as political advisor to the Bosnian peace implementation process, you participated in the Dayton Conference, a multilateral effort generating the Dayton Accords and laying out the pathway for peace for Bosnia and Herzegovina. You recounted the troubled history of the region in your 2002 book, Slobodan Milosevic and the Destruction of Yugoslavia. You parlayed your knowledge of and affection for the region into a peacetime role as principal founder of the American University in Kosovo, serving from when it opened its doors in 2003 to 2007 as executive director of the American University in Kosovo Foundation. Your well-received 2016 memoir and policy history, From Washington to Moscow, U.S.-Soviet Relations and the Collapse of the USSR, has brought you onto the lecture circuit to illuminate Cold War issues still very much in the headlines today. You have traveled far since undergraduate days at Franklin and Marshall College and graduate studies at the Johns Hopkins School of Advanced International Studies. Yet your service continues as an adjunct faculty member in political science and history at the University of Maine at Farmington, a stint so current that if you weren't here today, you'd be home grading papers for spring 2017 topics in history. Louis D. Sell, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the University of Maine system, I have the honor to bestow upon you the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa. Congratulations.
I'd like to start by thanking President Foster and everyone else who had a role in selecting me for this great honor from one of the finest public liberal arts colleges in New England, or should I say in the United States. It's truly a privilege to be here to speak to you today, and I'd also like to congratulate all of this year's graduates and all of the faculty who made that possible. Thank you. Those of you who listened carefully to President Foster's description of my career may have noticed that I spent a lot of time in countries that have ceased to exist shortly after I arrived or left. That is true. It had led, when we moved to Maine 18 years ago, it led some people to wonder what was in store for this great state. I think so far, so good is all I can say on that one. In reflecting on what message I should convey to you today, I read an article about a commencement speaker who advised graduates to make their bed every morning because even if you had a bad day, you'd come home at least to a made-up bed. Well, although that address reportedly won an award, I'm not here to tell you to make your beds. I'll leave that to your mothers and hope that they had better luck than mine did on that. What I intend to do instead is to pass on a few loosely connected observations about education and where it might take you in the future, with the accent on loosely. As I see it, education has two basic purposes. The first is to pass on some part of that store of knowledge that our predecessors have painfully accumulated over years and centuries past. The second is central to the notion of liberal education, to provide the skills and confidence to think, write, and act critically. Both are equally important. Argument, no matter how skillfully or passionately presented, that's not grounded in some kind of reality, is running on empty. Today, we might call it fake news. And knowledge that's not put to some kind of use can be seen as hollow. Education is, in fact, critical to being a citizen, a good citizen in a democratic system, something our ancestors understood when schoolhouses were generally one of the first public buildings they created as they moved across the country into new territory. Now, it's no secret that today that our democratic political system is in difficulty, perhaps even in crisis. It's not my intention here to single out any one leader, party, or cause. In my view, there's blame enough to go around on all sides, but rather to issue a plea for tolerance. Vigorous debate is at the heart of a democratic system, but democratic debate must also include respect for the views of the other side. It's easy to be tolerant of views you share. The real test for tolerance comes with views you disagree with, perhaps even profoundly. Preventing speakers from expressing their point of view through disruptive tactics has no place in a democracy, and still less in a university community, as I am confident is the case at UMF. Now, as dictatorial regimes collapsed across Eastern Europe and the USSR a quarter of a century ago, I was fortunate to be able to observe nations holding their first real free election. No one who's ever watched people going to the polls to cast a ballot that for the first time in their lives could really make a difference in their own lives and the fate of their country could ever doubt the awesome power of democracy. That process was not always smooth. In parts of Yugoslavia, elections led to the victory of nationalists who pushed that country toward conflict. And in Croatia, where I observed the first democratic election in April of 1989, an elderly villager told me that these newfangled elections with several parties were all well and good, but he remembered with great fondness the elections held before World War II by the then royal dictatorship, where if you voted the right way, you were rewarded with a cow. That is perhaps something we might consider here, I don't know. Over the years, I've spent a lot of time studying, writing, and talking about the end of the USSR, an event I witnessed firsthand. Scholars have put forward many reasons why that superpower collapsed so quickly and unexpectedly. And my students here don't need to worry. I'm not going to call on you to stand up and provide some of the answers that I demanded in class and in tests. But if there's one fundamental underlying cause for that event, I believe it is that the Soviet intelligentsia, the educated class in that country, stopped believing in their own system. There are a lot of good reasons not to believe in the Soviet system, and I'm not trying to draw a direct analogy with our own country. But as we look at the problems in the U.S. today, it's important not to lose faith in the resilience of democracy, to strive to overcome the problems of American democracy through democratic means. Now, I know that many of today's graduates are heading for careers in education and others, and this ties into another theme I want to impart, the value of public service. Americans have always had a healthy skepticism about government, but it's important to remember that government is an essential underpinning of human society and can be a powerful force for good. I represented my country abroad for almost 30 years as a diplomat, and for years thereafter in education, and I was proud every day to have the opportunity to do so. The world today is a troubled place. Americans are deeply divided about our proper place in it. Debate about America's international role is legitimate and necessary, but in my view, the United States can only play its proper role as one of the world's leaders if it's true to the democratic ideals on which we were founded. In May 1991, young demonstrators in the Serbian capital of Belgrade seemed close to upending the rule of nationalist dictator Slobodan Milosevic before the military intervened with tanks and gunfire. Toward the end of that day, I walked into the headquarters of a youth radio station that was one of the leading opponents of the Milosevic regime, where people were sheltering from the violence in the streets. After I arrived, someone yelled out that the American embassy is here, and the room broke into cheers. This did not, of course, have anything to do with me as an individual, but it was a sign that the young demonstrators there, that they would not be ignored. They knew they'd not be ignored by the world and by the United States in particular. Public service can be international or it can be local. It can be professional or it can be volunteer. When we moved to Maine, and I became a member of our town's volunteer fire department, something very different from anything I had done before. I am colloquially and I think unfortunately accurately known as the oldest firefighter in our part of Maine. But now, when I drive around our town and pass homes that we saved, I'm as proud of that as anything I've ever done. Firefighting is not for everyone, but there are many other ways you can serve your community, especially in Maine, with its strong traditions of local initiative. Another message I want to convey is that people and nations can change things for the better, acting either individually or as part of a group. And sometimes determined action can accomplish change even when things look particularly grim. In the mid-1990s, I was drawn back into the conflict in Bosnia, serving in an odd role as the American political advisor to former Swedish Prime Minister Carl Bildt, who was then the European peace negotiator. Visits to the besieged Bosnian capital of Sarajevo were complicated and sometimes dangerous. 3 of my American diplomatic colleagues died on that road into Sarajevo. Once you entered Sarajevo, and you could shelter behind a row of ruined buildings that served as the front lines, you're greeted by a graffiti message in red paint, which said, "Welcome to hell." And that was a very accurate description of a beautiful and cosmopolitan city that had endured 3 years of siege in which over 1 million shells fell on it. And yet, only a few months later, the Dayton Peace Conference finally ended that terrible conflict. It was an international effort, but one that was led by the United States, and I was proud to be part of that and of the rebuilding of Bosnia that followed. Well, at the end of the day, and this also is the end of my speech, education and life will sometimes astonish you. In the early part of this century, after leaving the diplomatic service, I was part of a small group of people who founded the American University in Kosovo. Our mission was, and is, to help the people of that war-torn region create a prosperous and democratic society through the transformative power of education. In 2005, we held our first graduation ceremony. A day like today, much hotter. We held it in a gym behind a gas station, the only place that would fit even our small group in a capital that was still rebuilding from war. And I watched that first class, many of whom I had recruited and knew personally, file across the stage in their caps and gowns. It was one of the most moving experiences of my life. Yet I didn't really understand just how big a deal it was until at the end of the ceremony, an old man, the grandfather of one of the graduates, stood up on the bleachers and he said, "All of us in Kosovo have seen movies of American graduations with caps and gowns, regalia, and everything else, but none of us ever expected that anything like that could ever happen here with our young people. Thank you for bringing it to our country." So that's all. Thank you. That's all. I mean it this time. For today's graduates, this ceremony marks the end of one stage and the beginning of another in your lives, which are certain to be filled with joys and sorrows, surprise and opportunity. Congratulations, and take advantage of them all. Thank you.
The University of Maine at Farmington offers the Master's of Science in Education degree. The program prepares professional educators for leadership roles in schools and other educational settings. There are 2 tracks, one leading to the Master's of Science in Early Childhood Education, and the other to the Master's of Science in Educational Leadership. In each, a written research project to improve classroom or school instruction completes the 3-year program. Will the candidates for the degree of Master's of Science in Education please rise? President Foster, on behalf of the faculty of the University of Maine at Farmington, I have the honor to present these candidates. They have met all the requirements of the university and are recommended to you for the degree of Master's of Science in Education.
Thank you, Dr. Brown. You ready? By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the University of Maine System, I hereby confer upon each of you the degree of Master's of Science in Education, with all the rights, privileges, and honors pertaining thereto. You may now move your tassels from right to left.
Recipients of the Masters of Science in Education degree, congratulations. At this time, we invite you to receive your diploma from the President. Dr. Catherine Yardley will announce each of you by name as you come forward to receive your diploma.
Sarah Kate Allen. Lindsay Edith Bickford.
Yeah, Lindsay.
Bethany W. Bilodeau. Heidi K. Brennick. Catherine Crary Chandler. Samantha Jane Crawford. Emily Kate Dustin. Jasmine Corinne Estes. Tiffany Lynn Frost. Nicole Marie Gagnon Arsenal. Dewey P. Hernandez. April Lee King.
Yeah, April! Woo!
Jessica Erin Lyons McMichael. Mary Johnson Maxfield. Melissa Jean McCrillis. Joanne Hall Meyer. Emily Jean Murray. Maria Brooke Newcomb. Gretchen R. Parlin. Susan R. Shea. Nikki Stevens. Christina Despa Toby. Rachel Ventrella Toner. Cheryl Lynn Walker. Larissa Wing.
The University of Maine at Farmington awards 4 different bachelor's degrees: the Bachelor's of Arts, the Bachelor's of Science, Bachelor's of Fine Arts, and Bachelor's of General Studies. Will all the bachelor's degree candidates please rise? President Foster, on behalf of the faculty of the University of Maine at Farmington, I have the honor to present these candidates. They have met all the requirements of the university for their bachelor's degree and are recommended to you for receipt of this degree.
Thank you, Dr. Brown. By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the University of Maine System, I hereby confer upon each of you the bachelor's degree you have earned with all the rights, privileges, and honors pertaining thereto. You may now move your tassels from right to left.
Graduates, congratulations. Please be seated. We are honored to have with us today the family of Tyler Charles Daigle, candidate for Bachelors of Arts in History, whose degree is being awarded posthumously. I invite Susan Grace, Tyler's mother, to come forward to receive Tyler's diploma from the President. We now invite undergraduate degree recipients to come forward to receive your diploma from the President. The senior class officers and the senior speaker will receive their degrees first. Dr. Yardley and Dr. Coyne will announce each of the degree recipients as they come forward to receive their diplomas. They will note which graduates have achieved the distinction of Honors Scholar, and also note which graduates have earned cum laude status, indicating an overall UMF grade point average of 3.5, magna cum laude for a grade point average of 3.7 or above, or summa cum laude for a grade point average of 3.9 or above.
Senior Class President, Larissa May Hannon. Senior Class Vice President, Jamie Blaze Austin. Senior Class Secretary, Haley Lara Jaramillo. Senior Class Treasurer, Cody Ernest Smith, magna cum laude. Senior Class Speaker, Zachary James Peercy. Gabrielle Rajani Adam. Courtney Boston Alofs. Henry Joseph Ameti, cum laude. Andriana Lynn Amaral. Haley Brianna Atkinson. Tucker Jolly Atwood, summa cum laude. Sarah Ashley Avery. Isabel Margaret Bailey. Emily Jane Barney. Willa Catherine Barron. Cassandra Barton. Alexandra Carson Baxter. Erica Lynn Baxter. Taylor Marie Beatty. Sadie Stowe Bowden, magna cum laude. Andrea Nicole Beaulieu. Aaron David Beaumont. Danielle Louise Bedard, cum laude. Caitlin Marie Beatty, summa cum laude. Mackenzie Nicole Belcher, cum laude. Brianna Elizabeth Benevento, magna cum laude. Samuel Joseph Bennett, summa cum laude, honors scholar. Kimberly Marie Biddlecombe, magna cum laude. Samuel David Birch, cum laude. Tiffany Amber Bishop, summa cum laude. Kristen Marie Bisson. Drew Joseph Blanchette. Sarah Elizabeth Boycell. Zachary Mark Bonnevie. Lindsay Jean Burgoyne. Madeline K. Boys, magna cum laude. Nicholas Ryan Bray. Mackenzie Michael Breton, cum laude. Lindsay Marie Brochu, summa cum laude. Megan Kaylee Broderick, magna cum laude. Leah Marie Anderson Brown. Molly Nash Brown. Lauren Winifred Ruth Burnham, cum laude. Love M. Call. Ryan Mark Camary. Allison Paige Carboni Crocker. Nathaniel Xavier Carey. Hannah Dorothy Carlson, magna cum laude. Renee Lynn Carlson. Rachel Jane Karen, magna cum laude. Celeste Marie Carpenter, magna cum laude. Carrie Ann Carruthers, cum laude. James Allen Chasen. Bridget Jean Chapin, summa cum laude. Parker Butler Chapin, cum laude. Abigail Madison Chase, magna cum laude. Amy Lynn Clark. Katie Ann Clark, cum laude. Keith Jackson Anthony Clark. Morgan Margaret Clark, cum laude. Samuel David Cobb. Carly Jade Coleman. Caitlin Spring Connolly, summa cum laude. Danielle Elizabeth Conway, cum laude. Holland Lavilla Corson, summa cum laude. Emily Austin Cody, cum laude. Samantha Emily Cody. Heather Nicole Cousins, cum laude. Shania Hope Creamer, magna cum laude. Jordan Michael Croto. David Tristan Shane Sanuski. Olivia Marie Sear, cum laude. Lindsay Lee Daggett. Molly Emerson Dalton. Megan Gale Doddelin. Nicholas Thomas Davenport. Harley Alicia Davis, magna cum laude. Jennifer Ann Denault. Catherine Helen Dennis, cum laude.
Yeah, Catherine.
David McDonald Dupre. Brock Peter DeRaps. Connor James Doherty. Deirdre Eileen DeSedlow, magna cum laude. Peter Isaac Doucette. Anna Marguerite Dowling, magna cum laude. Amber Nicole Duffus. Sean Wayne Dunlop. Is it Randall? Randell Jolynn Dyke. Courtney Lee Eastman, cum laude. William James Eaton. Zachariah David Edwards. Emily McKenna Eldridge, cum laude. Kayla Elizabeth Elliott, summa cum laude. Sydney Elizabeth Ellis, cum laude. Haley Elaine Estabrook, summa cum laude. Tyler James Eustace, cum laude. Justin Allen Fissette, cum laude. Courtney Alina Fish. Thomas Daniel Fisk, cum laude. Brianna Jamie Flagg. Julia Christine Fletcher, cum laude. Kayla Marie Flewelling, cum laude. Audrey Elizabeth Flynn. Hannah Catherine Forbush, cum laude. Haley Rose Fortier. Courtney Ellen Fowler, magna cum laude. Emily Ann Franklin, summa cum laude. Michaela J. H. Frigon. Gavin Gossard Frisbee. Courtney Marie Frost, magna cum laude. Kelsey Sarah Elizabeth Gagnon, summa cum laude. Craig Raymond Gajewski. Gabrielle Marlene Ganier, cum laude. Carly Rose Georgian, cum laude. Melissa Ann Gerard. Cassidy Lee Giggy, magna cum laude. Devin Donald Gilman. Kayla Danielle Girardin, magna cum laude. Rachel Ellen Godding, cum laude. Samuel Tracy Good, cum laude. Siobhan Shanice Gordon. Ethan Paul Gwen. Sarah Ann Gould, magna cum laude. Emily Priscilla Gray, magna cum laude. Taliesin Eric Greeton, summa cum laude. Casey Rose Griffin. Jessica Erin Griswold, cum laude. James Arthur Grover III, cum laude. Kennedy Ann Grover. Derek Brown Jurette, summa cum laude.
Mariah Ann Hagan. Sumaya Hamdi. Allison Kate Hamilton, magna cum laude. Abigail Lynn Hassan. Lance Evans Harville, magna cum laude. Caitlin Elizabeth Hayden. Matthew Lee Hernandez, cum laude. Adam Gray Hewins, cum laude. Nicholas Allen Hilton. Trevor Lawrence Heisler. Nikki Lee Hodgkins, cum laude. Brett Rodolph Hoffland. Rayana Lee Howard, magna cum laude. Rachel Lynn Howell, cum laude. Bridget Marie Humphrey, cum laude. Marissa Danielle Hutchins, cum laude. Donald Everett Hutchins IV. Danica Page Jackman. Rhiannon Charisse Jackson. Sarah Louise Jakes. Stephanie Ann Gillings, magna cum laude. Ashley Lynn Jandro. Kabagambe Jangu, cum laude. Brittany Diane Jones, cum laude and honors scholar. Kathleen May Joseph, cum laude. Carla Jean Kelly, cum laude. Lucas Paul Kennison. Alexis Schuyler Kennedy. Jairam Kanal Keshavan. Heather Marie King, magna cum laude. Shannon Arlene Knight. Nastasha Mary Kordek, magna cum laude. Leanne Elizabeth Kugelman. Victoria Rose Lacasse, cum laude. Carolina Diane Lacourse, cum laude. Stephanie Maretta Lafreniere. Marissa Lee Lagasse, magna cum laude. Gabrielle Elizabeth Lagrosse, magna cum laude. Beth Nicole Labby, magna cum laude. Alexis Nicole Lankto, summa cum laude. Tori Jade Lands, magna cum laude. Jacqueline Dallas Langevin, cum laude. Ashley Elizabeth Lapointe. Zachary Carl Lavoie. Mark Daniel Leahy, magna cum laude. Shannon Elizabeth Lee, cum laude. Julia Merle Lent. Erica Marie Letelier, magna cum laude. Erin Lee Lavasser, magna cum laude. Emily Rose Luia, summa cum laude. Kathleen Marie Little. Spencer Collins Lloyd Reese. Joseph Dion Lockett. Bradford Thomas Lopes, summa cum laude. Sabrina Lopizzo. Matthew Hale Lulofs. Abbott Kenneth McKay. Jubilee Lobo McLeod. Miles Garrett Medor. Shannon Nicole Mahoney. Kristen Nicole Manzo, summa cum laude. Mackenzie Elizabeth Marles, cum laude. Charles Robert Martin. Kurt Allen Mason, cum laude. Taryn Maza. Matthew Warren McCluskey. Summer Erin McCullough. Peter Allen McCoy. Thomas Southworth McGowan. Natalie Kate McLaughlin, cum laude. Kayla Ann Meisner. Stephanie Ann Mishu. Rose Ellen Miller, magna cum laude. Leah Kabeda Mindai, summa cum laude. Ronnie Danilo Morales. Samuel Arthur Morin. Nikki Ray Murphy. Jessica Lynn Murray. Kate Aline Myers, cum laude. Chantal Namuoza. Joseph Stephen Needle. Catherine Elizabeth Newcomb. Logan Richard Nichols. Morgan Joyce Nichols. Alicia Lee Nickerson. Janelle Ashley Noonan, summa cum laude. Faith Elizabeth Norton, cum laude. Maria E. Noyola. Chelsea Patricia Oliver, magna cum laude. Shauna May Oliver, magna cum laude. Megan Ann O'Reilly. Bethany Rose Parisi. Abigail Mary Weld Parkinson. Stephanie Pasciuti. Jocelia Pease. Darcy Lynn Perkins, cum laude. Jennifer Elizabeth Perry. Kaylee Quinn Pickering, cum laude. Emma Bradley Pidden. Jennifer Lee Pinkelman, magna cum laude. Jordan Lee Plummer, cum laude. Constantine William Pollock. Maggie Malane Pomeroy. Carissa Marie Picaro, magna cum laude. Kate? Madison Kate Porter, summa cum laude. Justin Francis Power, cum laude. Matthew John Principe III, magna cum laude. Faith Ocean Purdy. Luke John Quirion. Samantha Marie Regis. Ryan Anthony Rice. Caitlin Naniloa Richards. Sarah Ellen Ringer, magna cum laude. Laura Jean Rivers, cum laude. William Stinson Robinson, magna cum laude. Benjamin George Rodriguez, summa cum laude. Matthew Eric Rolfson. Jacqueline Ashley Rose. Ian Ronald Roulard. Bethany Nicole Routier. Michelle Noel Roy. Brooke Nicole Royal. Shauna Carlene Rustin. Rhea Adrienne Sochet, cum laude. Sean A. Sawyer. Taylor Caitlin Sawyer, cum laude. Dylan Saylor, cum laude. Hannah Lee Schlaber Johnson, magna cum laude. Cassie Elizabeth Scott, cum laude. Matthew Lawrence Scremin. Ruby Mae Dela Cruz Scribner. Hannah Christine Shirley. Elena Christine Shuri, summa cum laude. Miranda Ann Shirtleff. Shaylee Marie Sibley, cum laude. Brittany Lane Sig, summa cum laude. Kristen Lynn Simmons, magna cum laude. Paul Michael Simino, cum laude. Dylan Robert Ross Sinclair. Ashley Rebecca Skinner. Lucas Henry Small. Catherine Ann Smedberg. Nicole Marie Smith. Patricia Susan Smith, summa cum laude. Chad Aaron Snowman. Hannah Walker Soames, cum laude. Travis Taylor St. Pierre. Marina Dawn Stanton. Catherine Marjorie Stasalovich. Tristan Chandler Stockford, cum laude. Tyler Russell Stockford. Tim Stokes, cum laude. Raymond Swaby. Mac David Swanson. Zachary Maxfield Sylvester. Kristen Carol Tarr, cum laude and honors scholar. Erin Taylor, summa cum laude. Katrina Elizabeth Texera, summa cum laude. Michaela Lynn Thibault. Alyssa Mary Tibbetts, magna cum laude. Alyssa Jade Tiranati. Sierra May Tolman, magna cum laude. Haley Melanie Tomberlin, magna cum laude. Hannah Nicole Tompkins, summa cum laude. Lindsay Marie Toothaker. Spencer J. Trenoweth. Vincent Joseph Vanna, cum laude. Krista Judy Vatz. Karen Elizabeth Vino, magna cum laude. Louise Ann Villamont. Jacob Benjamin Vining. Emmeline Virginia Waldron, summa cum laude. Wait. Connor Wagner. Emily Louise Wark, magna cum laude. Amber Lynn Weber, magna cum laude. Trevor Alexander Whitney. Catherine Mary Wicks. Matthew Tae-Yun Wilbanks. Connor Wilson. Amanda Nicole Wise, cum laude. Logan Elizabeth Wiseman, magna cum laude. Taylor Reed Thomas Wood. Rihanna May Woodford, cum laude. Joined by her mother, Cheyenne Macy, graduating magna cum laude from the University of Maine, Augusta. Christopher A. Wren. Rachel Elizabeth York, summa cum laude. Finally, we present our senior class marshals. First, Devant Gatera. And second, Huji Hillary Celeste Needaway.
Whoa. We have now officially conferred the degrees. Let's give all of our new graduates a rousing round of applause. At this time, I call upon Mr. Chris McKee, Vice President of Corporate Programs at Geiger, member of the UMF Board of Visitors, President of the UMF Alumni Council, and 1992 Business Economics graduate of UMF, to welcome graduates to the ranks of alumni.
Thank you, President Foster. First, I want to welcome the class of 1967 back to UMF for their 50th class reunion. It is truly wonderful to have them here today. To the class of 2017, on behalf of the Alumni Council and more than 18,000 alumni nationwide and points around the globe, I bring you well wishes and congratulations. As you become accustomed to at UMF, you are now part of a wonderful group of alumni who are enthusiastic, supportive, and invested in your success. It is true, we are absolutely stronger together. 25 years ago, I sat in this exact location, or somewhere 7 or 8 rows back to the right, for my own graduation, and it was extended an invitation to collaborate and engage with fellow alumni and share in their experiences. Today, I extend the same invitation to each of you. Class of 2017, congratulations and welcome to the wonderful community of UMF alumni.
This concludes our commencement exercises for the class of 2017. But there is one last thanks to give. Graduates, this is your achievement, but it very likely came with ample support and encouragement. Will all the family members, friends, and loved ones who have come today to celebrate with a graduate please stand if you are able. Graduates, whether your loved ones are here today or not, please rise, turn, and give those standing here and in venues across the campus a much-deserved round of thanks and appreciation. You may see. I now close the 2017 commencement ceremonies of the University of Maine at Farmington and invite all those gathered to join us for a reception in the South Dining Hall of the Olson Student Center and in the adjacent Roberts Learning Center courtyard. Graduates and guests, please remain at your places until the platform party and faculty procession have exited the Student Center. Thank you and exited to the Student Center. Thank you and congratulations again.